Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we are going to be playing the Fates, and we get a nice little start here with the double familiar shop with the Genie's Wish in the shop there. So that is a phenomenal start for us. Obviously we take the second familiar first and then go for the double spell. We do get a free roll, but fortunately we did get the Genie's Wish, but that means that we're not going to be able to live the dream of just being able to lock multiple familiars in the shop anyhow. So we're going to go with the Genie's Wish first, just to see if we get a shrink spell, because we don't actually care too much about the roll. I don't think we're actually even going to take the familiar this turn. It just brings us down to one character, and we get so many stats from the Genie's Wish that it's still better than buying a character. And yeah, instead of buying this familiar and going down to one character, I think we're gonna buy this this baby root, and it's just gonna add a lot of stats to our board and give our wizard's familiars the ability to value trade with basically anything at this stage in the game. I mean, outside of like eggs and whatnot. See, we even value trade with these two tinies and get the win there. And then okay, the gold works out well enough that I think we're gonna lock these familiars. I mean, we just kind of wanna stack up as many as we can if possible, and the party there is actually really nice. We are gonna lose this one, and we're gonna take some damage, but again, we're able to stack up another familiar into the shop. So we got 5 now. So I think it's it's time to start combining them. Pretty easy lock chest. We would love to get a crystal ball out of there, and then we're just gonna buy these 2 familiars, and then we're gonna sell to cast this spell. I mean, the amount of stats that we get just from casting a single spell here, I mean, I think we just have to here. Polywoggle is nice and all, and like can give you some value, but I think it's a no-brainer to just cast the spell instead of trying to make the poly work. Since especially since we've got familiars and we kind of know what we want here, and we've got a way to kind of like get ahead just by casting spells basically. So looks like we're gonna make pretty short work of this fallen angel, and we get their pig gold and deal a chunk of damage, bring them to 10 on 4.0. Which is unfortunate. We do finally find our second familiar triple. We're gonna take this boiling beaker. We've got this this cantrip in the shop there. There's also another targeted spell, which maybe a little bit expensive. The plus 10 attack just doesn't really do a ton for our board, so we decided to just roll. Also, like the value of monster books on this board is so very high that I think it's worth rolling to try and hit one of those this turn if we can. I think we're gonna take the XP here. I mean, we're going to be playing down because of it, but we have a ton of stats on board and we can kind of afford it. Although, like, there's definitely merit to just staying on 4 again and just trying to find those monster books. But yeah, I mean, feeling pretty powerful, so we get a little bit greedy here. And there's a decent amount of stats on this Loki board, so maybe the wrong call to completely greed there, as we do lose the fight. Not by too much though, we do minimize damage mostly, and we do get the crystal ball out of the lock chest, which is phenomenal. Okay, so there's a 2-cost feasting dragon, although like 7 power on 4.1 rarely slays. So we just go for that, we just pass it up. We could have cast the masquerade ball there as well and seen a couple 5s, but again, I think we do kind of want to find some monster books, and we do find the monster book, which is phenomenal here. We do need to sell 2 more things, so we're going to be playing down to 5 units again. A little bit awkward, but I don't know, I think the amount of stats that we get out of this monster book over time is definitely going to make up for it, even if we're probably going to lose this next fight. We did rearrange a little bit there. The opponent's lightning dragon kind of made mincemeat of our backline, but yeah, I think we're fine. Or no, sorry, we do lose there. If we'd gone right, we get the tie, but we lose that 50-50 at the end there, unfortunately. We are on level 5 now, so of course Aeon is kind of our #1 priority here. We are going to happily take another book though. Again, that's just going to add so many stats to our board over time that it's definitely worth picking up here. And then we just go for Wizard's Test onto our Lady of the Lake there, with the boiling beaker adding a bunch of extra stats as well. Pretty good falling stars out of that book there, taking out the second half of the cat. And yeah, we are going to lose this one once again. We're down to 14 now. We have lost several combats in a row, so playing down this long has definitely taken its toll, but we're not dead yet anyways. And we do find our Aeon, which is fantastic. There's a Blaze of Glory, which we're happily going to jam onto the Aeon, and we're going to play it in 5 for now. I'm considering selling for this Shrivel, and we do. We end up just again we're playing down. Oh, there's a ton of stats on this holding board, so again we might have been a mistake, but fortunately for us, we do kind of weather the storm pretty well there, and we actually come out on top here. Our familiars are just big enough to take on those dwarves and get a couple value trades there. And then we're going to take the Krampus Sleigh. Just, I mean, it's just the best option there. And also, it can provide some amount of econ as long as we can win a fight. And I feel like relatively confident that we can win a fight. We're not going to sell for that XP. There's another Aeon, which I think we are going to take. And then we cast a Candy Cannon here. We're just going to play this Friendly Spirit up in slot 3 being supported. Unfortunately, the Cupid does hit our Aeon, and Aeon does attack into the one thing that we can't slay on the front line, so we're not going to get our spell cost reduction this turn. But our familiars are just so big that we do end up winning the combat still. And then yeah, we get to steal one of the opponent's treasures here and also get 5 gold. I think Staff is definitely worth taking. There's not too many 3. Like we don't really have any prospects for a 3 treasure, like maybe the Princess Peep here, but even then, I don't think it's worth like forcing that. So the Staff is going to allow us to find potentially more books, or just help us triple up Aeon. And also we found this Baba Yaga, which is, as long as we can get one of these sleighs with the Aeon, then that's going to give us our spell cost reduction. And yeah, the Beaker is going to go a long way as well to helping us improve the size of our board. Anyways. I would say like Beaker and Big Book of Spells are actually reasonable replacements for like Forking Rod, just because like they give you either access to more stats or more spells, and that's generally what you need with Hat Ball to actually turn Hat Ball from something that you can get some value out of to into something that's actually very strong. And yeah, we pick up another Baba Yaga. I mean, 5 treasures don't really do anything for us, so like tripling them isn't really all that great. But having access to more spell cost reduction is valuable. We would like a little bit more spell cost reduction, as we're seeing a lot of 4 cost spells that are reduced to 2, to be fair. But yeah, we kind of want to cast another one of these 2 cost targeted spells and then cast the Ride of the Valkyrie. So we're just considering what to sell. We end up selling the Sporko. It just I think it's probably just, it might play on board eventually, but at the same time, like, we just need to get spells cast. We need to get these Beaker stats onto our board. We get our Sleigh with the Aeon. We get our second Sleigh with the Aeon. So a ton of spell cost reduction this turn. So we're gonna get to cast the Gigantify for 0, which is great. Unfortunately, we don't have any good characters. We haven't Beauty's influenced anything, so we don't get to cast this Evil Twin, and I don't think it's worth spending 8 gold just to Evil Twin a Friendly Spirit there. There's a Beauty's Influence, which we could have used a little while ago, but we get a good little chain of targeted spells there. I'll honestly briefly consider just buying the the book, but at this point, it's definitely not worth it. Like the incremental scaling is really good in the mid game, but definitely falls off as we're beyond level 6 now. We want to get some toughness onto our backline to guard against lightning bolts and whatnot. Just finish off with Athena's Blessing. We get our Aeon Sleigh, which is very important. We get both Aeon Sleighs, again, very, very good for us. Then we get our Golden Monster Book done with an Aeon on the board still, which is nice. Adds a little bit of extra attack to our backline. I mean, to our familiars as well, but those don't really care too much about that extra attack. There's the Golden Baba, which, like, it's a 5 gold investment. I don't think that we're actually going to do it. I almost did it, but again, like, the 5 treasures we just don't care about. Like, Evil Eye, like, we could maybe get an Evil Eye, but I don't know that it's better than Beaker, even. Unfortunately, with Staff, we don't have, like, level 2 characters in the shop that we can buy and just immediately feed the Kraken. So that is one small downside, but we do decide to just eat the the Ashwood there. We already have a tree. We've got this Nutcracker, which is our tree, our royal, and a good character. And then also we get a Scion of the Storm here, and then we go for the hero change. Basically, we're hoping for one of the heroes that gives us access to 2 spells. Sphinx or Potion Master would have been phenomenal there. I mean, Merlin also would have been great. Unfortunately, opponent does get some stats onto Merlin, and then that makes it big enough, and they attack directly into our Aeon before it gets to attack. So they deny our spell cost reduction, and thus cutting the second Aeon there is actually ends up being kind of a big detriment. Again, there's Evil Eye, which like extra spell cost reduction, it's still just not worth it. This and we are going to go for the Golden Baba Yaga, but that's mostly just because we don't have spell cost reduction, so we can't chain any spells this turn really. It's just going to be too expensive, so we just get a couple golden characters here and consolidate our stats, and I guess we can get some board space as well. We make very short work of this Loki, and also we did get our Aeon Slay with the Golden Baba, so we got some very good spell cost reduction in this during this turn, first, which is going to allow us to churn through some spells hopefully. Again, like not seeing as many spells because we don't have like a Forking Rod or like a wand or like Big Book of Spells type effect is a little unfortunate. We go for the Evil Twin on the Soul Tack. I mean, like we could get Forking Rod still, so tripling that Soul Tack might be worth it. Struggling to decide where to put that Mix-a-Wizzle. Fortunately for us, again, we're not chaining spells like as much as we would like to be. We get kind of punished for losing that Nutcracker even for the turn, because we don't get to cast that Queen's Grace. But yeah, not seeing as many spells means we just don't get to we don't get to chain as many spells, but we do get a lot of stats from the Beaker. Again, that's why I said it's a serviceable replacement. It's definitely I think probably the worst option when it comes to those. When it comes to like Big Book. I guess Big Book is really the only replacement. Opponent gives the GG, but they do get the tie there, so we could take this. I mean, I was gonna say we could take this Soul Tack, but then we can just Evil Twin we have the Evil Twin in the shop as well, so instead we just take that and get a cheaper triple. Unfortunately, no Forking Rod there. We would have been very happy to pick up and allow us to chain spells. Allow us to see 2 spells for every one that we cast anyways, which adds up to a lot. We get a 0 cost Croc here. We're just going to jam it onto the Scion of the Storm. And I figure we have a big enough backline to deny, as long as they don't hit the Baba with their Lightning Dragon. Our what do you call it? Our backline should be big enough to deal with that. We also sub in the they did hit the Baba, but actually we did have enough toughness on the Baba there to survive and deny them the slay. So that's fantastic. And yeah, we cut the Croc that had the monster book in it just for the Scion. I mean, I figured the stats is probably just more important, and I think it ends up being that way. That ends up being the case. They waste their Phoenix Feather on the Yorm early, which is really good for us, since the Echo Wood would have been a much bigger threat. And yeah, so combat RNG just works out in our favor, even through that fog, dropping a lot of attack off that Baba. But yeah, we beat Slay. And yeah, so this is just like one ball Beaker. Again, we didn't get any spell costs any spell doublers. We didn't have any way to see extra spells through Big Book or through a hero power of any kind. And yeah, we still just managed to get there. Just because we got stuff online early, and these double golden familiars really pulled their weight throughout the game, keeping our life total high even when we were losing combats, because they just managed to trade with most of their board and reduce damage. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff that helps the algorithm out. Very much appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.